Welcome back again to Spotlight, where we feature the University of Central Arkansas's College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. I'm Donna Lampkin-Stevens. I'm joined today by my friend, my old friend, Amanda Horton, who is the, Director of Public Appearances. Now, we've changed your title, right?
Executive Director of Public Appearances.
Executive Director.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about what that entails first before we get into the Reynolds stuff.
Yes, so over the summer I took that position. It was very exciting. I can't wait for our future because we have a brand new, beautiful arts building on our campus being built, Wingate Center for Fine and Performing Arts. And so I'll be managing the operations of that facility.
Of
Public
both?
Appearances will, yes,
Of Reynolds and Wingate. Okay.
So, and you know, Wingate is going to be, as I said, such a special building, unlike any that we currently have on campus, because it will encompass visual arts, performing arts, music will be there, theater will be there, and it'll have multiple performing arts spaces. The largest one over there will be a concert hall that will hold 450 people, and it's really going to be state of the art, made for musical experiences and concerts. But there'll also be a recital hall, an amazing black box theater that can be configured in multiple ways. The most that it will hold is 200, but it'll be really some neat, intimate theater experiences. And you know, it's just going to be such an asset for our students and for our future students. What a great recruitment tool!
Yeah,
and absolutely.
Well,
for the
actually,
state.
I was giving a tour last week, and the mom came along, and we were walking over this way, and she pointed to Reynolds, and she said, "I just can't believe that they're building another building when we have Reynolds here." And I said, "Yeah, but it's a different type of space,
Yes.
and so it's needed because 1,200 seat auditorium is not good for 400 seat."
That's right.
Concerts.
That's right. We're really not a teaching space per se, other than students do come in and experience Broadway shows and concerts for some of them for the very first time. You know, when they step on our college campus, they get that experience. But we're not an intimate space. We're not a teaching space, and that truly will be. It's definitely geared more towards student performances. But you know what? We're also going to have some amazing artists that we're going to program in that building. Some niche musicians, perhaps jazz that might not fill Reynolds. You know, that's a 1,200 seat theater. We might not be able to bring in 1,200 jazz enthusiasts, but it's still a very important genre of music that we want to present. And a 450 seat auditorium just makes so much more sense for that. And that's just one example.
So really, Amanda, now we'll have everything, right? We'll have everything from 1,200 all the way down to very intimate.
That's right, to a 100 seat recital hall. And not only is this, we keep talking about our students because they are priority, of course, but also our community. They'll be able to come in and utilize these facilities, and you know, we will have them available for rent just like we do for Reynolds. So perhaps piano recitals or theatrical productions in the summer when the students aren't here. So this is going to be a facility that is, like you said, that our whole state can enjoy in multiple different ways.
Well, we are going over to Wingate after it opens to do Spotlight from there, so I'm sure we'll be talking more about that. But let's talk about Reynolds now. This is what year for you now?
Oh, I'm entering my 10th year. Can you believe it?
I can't.
Time flies. So much has happened in 10 years, and it's just been an unbelievable experience for me. I feel so fortunate to be here at Reynolds Performance Hall and now at Wingate and on this beautiful campus. But yeah, 10 years.
Good. So are we truly over, I mean, for you, are we truly past the pandemic, does it seem?
Well, I think that we're currently rebuilding our audience. So whenever the pandemic hit, we really did not stop presenting shows.
They were booked.
We were closed down for 6 weeks. A lot of those canceled, but we still brought in artists from Nashville, from Dallas, small trios that we flew in from New York City, small intimate concerts, and we had to space out our audience. We, you know, our 1,200 seat theater became a 300 seat theater, but we wanted to continue to present music, especially during that time when people were so down, and we wanted to do it in a safe manner where people could still come out, and they were masked at the time, and we did have to distance them 6 feet from other parties, but we were able to put about 300 people. And the year that I felt like we were truly deep in the pandemic, we presented about 6 performances, and I was really proud of the work that we did and that we were able to do that. But We are now back with a full series. We are at full capacity, so 1,172 seats is what we have. You can choose to wear a mask if you want to, but that is no longer a requirement on any building on this campus. And some do and some don't, and whatever you feel comfortable doing. We still have several safety protocols in place, lots of hand sanitizer, deep cleaning. Our artists, when they come in with writers, we're still, for some of our performances, in fact our opening one this year, Spamilton, we had to do COVID testing of all of our crew that was loading in that show and was going to be in an intimate space with the artist. And I completely understand that. These artists are on the road going from literally city to city every day, so they need to stay healthy and well.
Sure.
So they have some requirements. So I would not say we're out of the pandemic. I'd say that this is kind of a new world of presenting. But we're doing it.
Yeah,
and people that are returning to the theater are so excited about it. We really have some enthusiastic audiences, and that's so much fun. But many people did get used to got used to not having or not coming to performances. And so those people we're trying to appeal, come back. We've got wonderful performances. Once you get here, you're going to have a great time.
So we started off with Spamilton. And we've already had 2 or 3.
We have.
Okay.
So last weekend we kind of started out with comedy, which is fun. I thought when we were programming this season, I thought we all need to laugh a little bit more, don't we? Things need to be a little bit more lighthearted. So we did kick off our season with Spamilton, which was a parody about Hamilton, well-written show. Broadway lovers really enjoyed that. And then we moved on. Our next big series show was Preacher Lawson, and he was a comedian from America's Got Talent, and just was very a physical comedian, was all over our stage, but it was literally just him and a microphone, and he entertained the audience for a good 80 to 90 minutes, lots of laughter, just lots of fun. So that's how we kicked off our season. We also brought our main stage education series back, which, as you know, is very near and dear to my heart. Yes. I started that program in 2015 with a vision of serving school children, because many school children, if they are not brought by bus to a performing arts theatrical show, they may never see one until they come to college or become an adult. So it's really important, I believe, to introduce children at an early age to the arts, because they may become artists themselves, or it presents critical thinking skills. There's just so much that a student can benefit by being introduced and participating in the arts as a child. So we hope that that program is definitely doing that for our local. When I say local school children, though, gosh, Donna, we literally have students from Phillips County, which is way south, that come to our performances, to all the way up to Fox, Arkansas. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but it's way up north. And the reason why that they'll get on a school bus and they'll leave at 6:30 in the morning to get to a 10 a.m. performance, I mean, that's pretty early.
That's great.
The reason why is because they don't have access to the arts in their own communities. So we're filling that void as well. But it started, we had 3 performances the first year, and I thought perhaps we'll have 3,000 students here. That was my big goal, and we had over 6,000 that year. And since then, even with a pandemic year where we weren't able to present much, we've served over 52,000 students in the state of Arkansas.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good.
So proud of that.
You should be.
And hopefully it's touching the lives of our children.
And it's mainly, I mean, are they the same schools? Do we get repeaters?
I keep and this is on our Facebook page, and I believe it's on our website, but I keep a state map, and I color code every county that's been here. And so far we've had 29 representation from 29 counties.
Great.
And 55 school districts. So some of them are like Conway, Greenbrier. Sure. There are definitely multiple hits where they come back every year. But this year, or last year, at the end of last year, we had some performances last year as we were coming out of the pandemic. We added 3 new counties to it. So we're at 29 counties, and you know what? We want to hit all of the counties.
Yeah,
Hopefully someday we will.
Well, you're getting close to halfway.
Yeah. So it's anyway, it's been an exciting program, and our teachers love it. You know, we send out a teacher study guide to them in advance where they can incorporate lessons from the show into the classroom curriculum before they get here. And then when they get here, the kids watch it and it just all comes to life on stage. So it is so much fun. And I'll tell you, Donna, something else that we do is we raise 100% of the funds for that. And we make sure that no child is left unserviced. So if a child cannot afford it, we have scholarships for the children. So we'll just tell the teachers, please let us know how
And
many
the
of your
tickets
kiddos.
themselves are just $5.
They're only $5.
So,
Yeah, so they're
but,
very
yeah.
affordable. We raise a lot of money to make sure they're affordable. And then if a child is economically challenged, we make sure that they still have a seat in the theater. And that kind of leads me into my next point. Really, we want every child, regardless of their abilities, to have a seat in the theater. So we kicked off our Main Stage Education series this year with a pretty impactful show. It's The Magic of Kevin Spencer, and he is a magician, but he's also an autism expert, and he does sensory-friendly shows. So if a child is, has any sensory issues, if they have any developmental delays, they're certainly welcome in our theater, and we're presenting performances that are made just for them. But you know what? I don't have any sensory issues, and I still loved the show. It was so much fun. But Kevin was here for a whole week, and I like to think that he impacted our whole community because he went into, he has a PhD in special education. It's a specialty in special education, but he has a doctorate. And he went into our classrooms and worked with UCA counseling students. He worked with some of our therapy students, our occupational therapy students, and some of our psychology students about how to integrate arts into therapy.
Great.
So hopefully those students learn some tricks, when I say that, magic tricks, and they'll be able to use that into their own practices, or at least open their mind to how arts can truly even impact healing and therapy. And then he also went to the Conway Human Development Center, which is a residential center for people with disabilities, and he spent time there working with the clients. We had him in Greenbrier Public Schools. We had him at Compass Academy, which is a private school here in Conway for children with disabilities. He was in lots of special ed classrooms working with those students during the day, during his week-long residency. And then we ended it with a big bang where he had a school performance, sensory-friendly performance, and then we did a public one on Saturday. And the one on Saturday, we invited various companies, services around our state that service people who have disabilities, and we had about 8 vendors there. We did a vendor fair in advance. We had a meet and greet with young adults with autism. So we served over 1,100 people through that program in various ways, and it was a very special week for us.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. So how many main stage events do we have this year?
We have 5.
Okay, good.
Yes.
But not all this fall?
No, there's only actually, the majority of them are in the spring. We have one more at Christmas, and I could talk about that right now. Dr. Kaboom.
Yeah, oh good.
And we have we had him either the first or second year we started Main Stage. I'm almost certain it was the first year, and he is like a mad scientist. But I'll never forget the first time we had him, something he did with his science experiment killed the lights on our stage accidentally, like it was not supposed to happen. But he's such a professional that one of our guys ran up and turned on a spotlight and put a spotlight on him, and he finished his show in a spotlight. I'll never forget that. And the kids loved it.
Oh,
and they
I'm
didn't
sure.
even know anything
No.
really went wrong. So it was fun. But he's bringing in the Science of Santa this year.
Oh, fun.
And I'll tell you, the Science of Santa is a very kid-friendly show, but he does investigate how Santa does all the magical things he does, and he applies it to science. So how do reindeer fly? How does Santa get down a chimney, and on and on. So it'll have a Christmas flair, but definitely very educational. And that's for kids, gosh, 2nd through 5th grade.
Okay.
Probably even some first graders would enjoy it. And it's interactive, and like I said, the children will get the curriculum in advance and learn all about those science tricks.
So
and
what's the
terms.
timetable on that? Should teachers be reaching out now?
They should. So we have a 10 a.m. performance, and that is on, I have my notes right here in front of me. That is on December 12th, and we have a 10 a.m. performance and a 12:30 performance, and the 10 a.m. is almost sold out. So yes, definitely go to our website and go to the Main Stage Education Series tab, and you can click there, and there's a form that you download, you complete, and you either fax it in or deliver it to us or email it to us. All the information's on our website.
Okay.
And there's also information about our contact info in case the teachers do need to request some free tickets.
Okay.
We'll do our best to get that done.
And we will pick up later in a few months. We'll pick up for the spring. But what else is going on at Reynolds this fall?
Sure. So this Friday we have got a.
Let's give the date.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, very important. October 28th.
Okay.
So Friday, October 28th, we'll have our first speaker of our speaker series. So we typically have a fall speaker and a spring speaker every year. And this year, our fall speaker is Frank Warren, who is the creator of the Post Secret Project.
And you had that here. Was he here before?
He was not. We had the Post Secret show. You've got a great memory because that was like 2014 or 2015. It's been a few years. And the Post Secret was a theatrical performance that was based around the Post Secrets. So if people don't understand what Post Secrets are, you really need to go online and look at that, because it is such a unique project, and it's so intriguing. Like literally, the first time I looked at it, I got lost for over an hour going through the website looking at all the secrets. So Frank Warren started this project, and what he asked people to do was to mail in their deepest, darkest secret on a postcard, and to do it in an artistic manner. So what started as somewhat of an art project turned into kind of more of a social human experience, because some of the, as you can only imagine, some of the secrets were shocking, some of them were funny, and some of them made you think, I felt that way, but I had no idea anybody else did. And some of them dealt with mental health issues. And so that is one of the reasons why we brought Frank in. You know, coming out of a pandemic, mental health is really at the forefront of our minds, because so many people were isolated, and especially our students. You know, they were used to being in social groups and going to class, and all of that was interrupted. And so we felt like it was important to address this issue and let people know that what they're feeling right now is normal, and this is okay, and there are ways to, you know, to get help. But Frank Warren has raised over $1 million for suicide awareness. And he's going to bring up some of the secrets on the stage and talk about them. And some of them that were mailed in, he actually, you know, contacted the author and followed them and has the backstory. So it's really interesting and intriguing, but also a great message.
Is this an ongoing project? Is Post Secret continuing?
Every Sunday, Frank, adds new Post Secrets to his website. So you can go on every Sunday. I follow his Facebook page, and they're constantly putting new secrets out, and Instagram. But every Sunday he has new secrets. So yes, it's ongoing. And he's had one bestseller, New York Times bestseller book full of secrets, but he's like 8 more of the Post Secret books. Like literally every time he hits a certain number, he will issue a new book, he'll create a new book, a visual book. So it's interesting, and we want the public and we want our students to come out. It's one of those shows that I think our students are going to really enjoy it. I also think the general public would really enjoy it.
And that will be the night before homecoming, so it's part of homecoming week. So
yes, and it's also Honors College took on. This is their challenge week. They have that every year where they take on a topic, and we partnered with them because their topic was mental health awareness.
Okay, great.
So the other really big event that we got, November is packed with big events. I shouldn't say the other. It's packed with big events. So we'll kick off on November 10th with Neil McCoy, who is a country music artist from the 90s. And the one thing I can say about Neil is not only is he a great musician and has some really fun hits from the 90s, but he is an entertainer. So one of the things that he's known for is he will go to other countries and entertain our troops. So he does a lot of those types of concerts. He's, got a big heart. He loves the United States of America, and he is just a really well-rounded guy. And when he's on stage, not only does he sing his songs, but he also tells the backstories behind them. So, like I said, a great entertainer.
Good.
He'll be a lot of fun. And then we've got Respect, which, if you think about it, you know that song quite well. That is an Aretha Franklin concert experience. So it's a celebration of her music. And what I love about this is it's produced by Broadway producers, this particular show is. And anytime we do things with Broadway producers, it's always fabulous because they've got such an eye for detail. The costumes will be great, the lighting will be great, and the talent will be absolutely amazing. So it's not really people pretending to be Aretha. It's not like a tribute show. It's more of a celebration of her music, but should be really a fun night.
And what night is that?
That is November the 12th.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're ending November with Anastasia, the Broadway musical, which is a huge musical. 5 trucks will be unloading, 18-wheeler trucks that morning. Yes, it's going to take us like 60 employees just from UCA Reynolds to bring that show in. Huge cast, gorgeous costumes, and if you want your ticket, you need to get it now because we're very limited on tickets. That will sell out. It's been our best seller so far this year. Other than, and we need to talk about this for just a minute, Amy Grant. She's almost, well, she hadn't sold quite as many tickets, but she's been a really great seller for us. And if people received our brochure in the mail, lots of people probably did, they'll notice that Amy Grant was supposed to have been here on September 30th, but Amy Grant had a biking accident. And unfortunately, she had to cancel all of her September and October performances and move them. But she was great to work with, and she went ahead and moved our date to March 31st.
Okay.
So if you bought those tickets, you've already been notified. But anybody who had tickets for September, we moved them right to the March 31st date. And we have a few tickets left, but it is also selling really well. And I'm going to tell you really kind of the timely thing for us about this is that in December, Amy Grant will be a Kennedy Center honoree.
Oh, good.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to have her and present her after she's received her Kennedy Center honoree because there'll be a lot of information in the news.
So that had not been announced when you booked her, I'm assuming.
No, it hadn't. So occasionally timing works out for us.
Yeah.
So when we had Common here and he was a lecturer, he was here on a Tuesday, and the Sunday night, literally 48 hours before that, he had received a Grammy award. So it's always fun when things like that kind of come together. And
well, Amy Grant's been around forever. I saw her when I was a college student, 40 years ago?
You might have seen her, 12 years ago at Reynolds.
Has she been here?
She has been here before. I was not here.
Okay.
But let me tell you about Amy. When I arrived at Reynolds, there's certain names that keep coming back to me. And every year someone would say, you need to bring Amy Grant back. She was the best performance we've ever had here. I mean, not everybody said that, but I would get a lot of feedback. So I thought, well, her agent called me and said she was in a great route in September. Let's do it. Let's take a chance and get her back. And people must have remembered that because it's selling so well for us.
Good.
But I'm excited to see her show because I've never seen her.
Oh, you've never seen her?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm really excited about
well,
that.
I've probably seen her twice then. From 12 years ago. Yeah. So.
And then we're going to end our series in December for the fall semester with something that's really fun. It is great for families, and it is a Saturday night. Saturday, December 10th, we're going to have a Charlie Brown Christmas live on stage, which is the remaking of the Christmas special that you see every year. It will follow the same storyline. So the same music. I love that music, that piano music. I think of Snoopy every time I hear it. But the same music, same story. But if, as a family, if you watch that every year on TV, you really ought to bring your kids to the performances. Or adults, adults love it too, and watch it live on stage. Because even though it's very same, even though the storyline is the same, it's given in a different format, and it's just so special to see things on stage live right in front of you. So the we've got some footage of this on our website. Really cute costumes, really animated actors. It's going to be a great night.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So, what I find, and we'll have you back
Sure.
to talk about
Spring. Lots of spring.
later. But what I find fascinating is you're in the middle of this fabulous season, and you're already planning next year. So tell me about, I know you and Wendy have traveled recently.
Yes, we were just in Nashville at the International Entertainment Buyers Association conference. We typically go to a conference in the fall because you need to really start, routes and tours are being put together right now for
next
spring of
spring of
2023, but
24.
spring of 2024. And if you want to be a part of those, you really have to start dealing with the agents now and jumping on those. And another great thing we get to do at those conferences is often they will showcase artists that are going to be on tour. So if I've never seen a particular artist, I can go and listen to a 15-minute set. I mean, it's just a quick snapshot of what they do, but you are able to get a taste for it. Yes, it's live.
They bring them in. Okay.
So we'll do that in the spring. We'll go to in the fall we'll go to a conference, and then in the spring January we'll go to the APAP conference in New York City, which is where we kind of tie up all our loose ends. And if we, are missing a Broadway show or missing a pop show, we'll go and look for that there because that's it's probably the largest conference there is in the entertainment world.
So logistically, how do you start? Do you just have a list of names? Or you know that you want dates? I mean, how do you?
So we keep a wish list,
Okay.
and if anybody's interested in having an entertainer, and it's a match for us, occasionally we get names like Tim McGraw. Well, Tim McGraw's, you'll be good to see him at Verizon Arena.
Yeah.
He's such a big name.
Yeah.
Or Lady Gaga. I mean,
Yeah,
there are
sure.
certain people that are just not a fit for us. But if they're a good fit for us, we'll keep them on our wish list, and then we constantly look at that list, and we will talk to agents about perhaps bringing some of those people in if they're on a tour that's near us. And then sometimes we go to these conferences and we're blown away by something new and different. And Broadway shows are change just about every year what's touring. So we constantly have people go, bring in Cats. Well, Cats hasn't toured for the last 7 years. I actually think they are on tour now. That's just not an option for us. But we have to start thinking about this at least 18 months out and start planning that. And, getting our college events, when our band concerts on the campus are going to be held, when the choir concerts are going to be held, getting them all settled in. And then we book around that. And that's another opportunity that Wingate, we really didn't talk about that, is, many of the things that are happening at Reynolds, our student concerts will be moved to Wingate because it's just a more appropriate space and it's new, state of the art. That's made.
But that will open things up for Reynolds easier for y'all to.
Yes, it will definitely open some dates for us. A lot of times we have to turn down things that would be a wonderful fit for us, but we just can't do the date because someone else has already secured it.
Because when they're on these routes, I mean, it's either whatever night or miss it.
So we may catch them going from Missouri to Texas, and they can't stop and wait 2 or 3 days for a date to come open. We have to choose, and that's often why we have questions a lot of, why do you print on Sundays or Mondays? Why do you have shows on those days? Why not just Friday and Saturday? Well, it doesn't always fall that way, and we try to be very mindful of our budget. We have to be, and so to be able to stretch our dollar and bring the best entertainment in that we possibly can to our community, sometimes we have to take a Monday night or a Tuesday night. But that's really it's not been that big of a challenge. If people want to see that artist, they come out. So we try our best to do weekends, but it just doesn't always work out.
Do you want to spill a few of those names on your wish list, or do we dare?
We've actually already booked some things for next year, and there are going to be some big surprises.
Oh,
and
really?
One of them has been on the wish list for at least 4 years, and there's a Broadway show coming that has also been on the wish list of many people for a good 10 years because I hear about it every year. Bring that back. We want to see this. And we've almost got it booked. I don't want to say it because
we're not.
No,
we
I
don't
can't
announce
give that
anything
away.
till so.
But we do. But if you have any suggestions, please, email me. I would love to hear them.
Real quickly, the website.
Yes, uca.edu/Reynolds. Our phone number to get your tickets is 501-450-3265. You can also get your tickets online. If you are a student or a UCA faculty or staff member, you do have to bring your ID over to our box office because they get special discounts, and we love that for our students. Also, children's tickets at Reynolds Performance Hall are always, for our big shows, are always $10. So you can't buy those online. You will have to call the box office or come by and see us. But if you're bringing in children, we really want you to. That's a big mission of what we do. So it's affordable. It's $10.
It's great.
Yeah.
And you're investing in the
Yes.
future of UCA and the state.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
We'll see you next time. We'll be back again soon for another Spotlight.